welcome back to Tangata Pasifika. Hollywood studio New Regency has won the rights to make a film about the 6 Tongan teenagers stranded for 15 months on an uninhabited island in the mid-1960s.
Yes, great story, this one. The boys were eventually rescued by an Australian adventurer who was sailing around Tonga. However, more than 50 years on, the incredible story has resurfaced again. It's going viral online after it was published in the Guardian newspaper.
I was fortunate enough to interview Tevita Siola'a, who is one of the 6 survivors who now lives in Auckland. Tevita was 15 years old when he joined his mates Sione, Mano, Luke, Kolo and Steveni on the trip of a lifetime.
Mabalani leo mo waka ki whaia no kahasi. Palani mea ko tope. O mau tu whorau rewa. He waka koe ni. Po uri. Mea po uri ni. Mā koe ua mahalo lei ua pe ko tolu.
In June 1965, the 6 teenagers set sail from Tonga's main island, Tangata, on a little adventure to New Zealand.
Mau tau tawhitong pe whauri mawaru. Ka nea wiki taimi nei ke mau e la ia mo hai e matangi ni humaro. Pena tuko i lalo ka mau e peki sipi koe waka ke toro aki. Ke mea e.
Na ke ongo e irifia?
I kai. Ke ongo i irifia. I koe taimi a koe a kuki maro he loto te si. Ka pao no koe taimi ni.
They drifted for 8 days, not knowing where they were and without food or water. Nā ha taimi na mo whie ta whoki mā whoki ki Tonga?
Ikai. Nā keki ia toi whie ta whoki ki Tonga, mau ilo ko mau oskai haa. Alua pe, whie pe no matanga ko ia.
Weak and dehydrated, they found the uninhabited island of Ata, located more than 100 kilometers southwest of Tongatapu. They abandoned their boat and swam ashore.
In a ledge at this halfway point up the mountain, we found old-fashioned knives. We cut the tops off young coconuts and drank the juice. For the first time since we landed here 3 months before, we were happy. We had the will and the strength to go on.
After days of exploring, they discovered breadfruit, bananas, chickens, and the ruins of an old village, Kolomaile, in the island's volcanic crater.
That first meal on the crest of the mountain was a banquet. They prepared green bananas, wild beans, fish. They had a tortoise from below and wild birds from the cliffs. Never was there such a meal.
But they didn't realize this mysterious island had a dark past. Around 300 people lived on the island in 1863. Sadly, almost half of them were kidnapped by the crew of a whaling ship which sold them as slaves in Peru.
And I'm malawa pe here, because I'm going to talk to Gitahi. And you are motor of lock at our long about Fuko. To have been able to have a kifuaka, eh? But I'll be mono for Matora Gakimoto. Saying a cafe too.
After 6 months, the boys gave up hope of ever going back home as no one came to look for them. Their families held funerals when there was no news of their return. Tevita, the youngest in the group, was missing his parents. His school friends became his brothers, and they prayed daily. September 1966, the castaways have been on the deserted island for 15 months, until they spotted a boat.
And there they were, 6 young men, excited, waving, calling out as they swam.
They were rescued by Peter Warner, an Australian sea captain who was sailing around Tonga. There was a celebration when the boys reunited with their loved ones, but it was bittersweet. They were jailed after the owner of the boat they stole still pressed charges. They were later released with the help of Peter Warner. 55 years on, and only 4 of the 6 castaways are still alive. Dubbed the real Lord of the Flies, their remarkable story is to become a Hollywood film after an article in The Guardian about them was read and shared by millions.
We were still trying to take that in just a few weeks ago, and then to hear that it already hit the news. Once again, Guardian reported that New Regency had already secured the rights, so there were quite a few production companies from around the world and obviously Hollywood.
The survivors, Tevita Siola'a, Mano and Luke, will be involved in the project as consultants as they want to keep it authentic and true to Tongan culture.
Kai hoko ia o ako e whahinga tō lai. Me tapako tō peo mamandi na wakai he mea. Na wako ke mea lai, na hoko poe u mea, mtotonu ke tuku, mea mtotonu ke whai poe. Na u mea pe. Ka koku o ia koko whiwhia lai. Ka ke taimita tau peo, ka ke hiki tō ai whiwhia kui. Au, ki whenga pe ki no moro pe. Tau hi pe mea kotoa mai o tua. Pe tau pe mea kotoa me whawhita I mana.
Malo Opito Tevita and the other survivors have been inundated with requests from 60 Minutes USA, People.com, just to name a few. They have not confirmed yet who will be in the film and where it will be made.
Incredible story. It was great to hear him speaking in his own language as well. Well, after the